Hey, welcome to All Metals. Come on in for a tour. So the tour will start in the back, but while we walk back there, let me tell you a little bit about the history of the company. So All Metals Fabricating was founded in 1953, and my grandfather purchased the business in 1978. And my dad joined him later that year. And so it's been in our family for over 47 years, and it's been in business for 72 years. The company was built on the backbone of the telecom industry, the big boom of the telecom industry, with Dallas-Fort Worth being a big hub for that, and really capitalized on that in the 90s, all the way up till 2000. And after 2000, when Y2K happened, we diversified significantly. Now we serve virtually every industry, with our largest industries being alternative energy, data centers, and still telecom, followed by medical after that. So everything starts back here. This is where all our raw material comes in. We stock all of our sheets, all of our high running sheets, and that gives us more purchase power, allowing our customers to have better pricing. Also shortens lead time. You know, by having the material in-house, we can run the job as soon as we get it. So we have all our raw material back here, and then it goes to cutting. So for cutting, it'll either go to the punch presses, like these two machines right here that are identical. And punch presses are great for anything with a countersink, a threaded hole, or a louver, any formed feature on the metal, you'd want to run on a punch press or on a laser punch combo. With a punch press, you're limited on your geometry by the tooling. And so you can't cut every pattern, you're dependent on tooling to make that pattern. And so that's why the laser offers you more flexibility. However, a punch press is more cost effective to run, and you can also eliminate the need to do secondary processing like countersinking or tapping a hole manually on a drill press or a mill. You can do that all in one take on the machine. So you can check out these louvered panels that we're running here. This is a louver feature. We have lots of different louvers in stock so that you don't have to buy your own custom tooling. You can pick from our tooling library, which is also available to you online on our website. Check out our tooling library, pick out which tools work for you and your solutions, and minimize the cost that you have to incur for tooling. So the other cutting methodology is with a laser. So we have two lasers. This is our 8 kilowatt system with 2 towers, 30 shelf system. So this can run lights out unattended around the clock with incredible cutting speed. The more wattage you have, the more powerful and fast you can cut, the more thick you can cut, and also speed, which as the highest cost on a part is laser running time. You want your speeds, as a customer, you want the fastest speed as possible. Now in a traditional CO2 laser, you can't run this reflective of material on the laser. But with a fiber laser, you can run copper. We can actually cut up to 3/8 thick copper on this. Great for copper bus bars. A lot of copper bus bars are 1/4 inch. Here we're running some thinner 063 copper bus bars. It's a huge need right now with all the demand for power, electrical distribution. These bus bars are a huge need. And look to All Metals to be your bus bar solutions provider. Here we have the best of both worlds, a laser punch combo machine. We love this machine. It's got an auto loader and unloader, so you can run it lights out as well. A pallet's worth of material. Gives you the flexibility of a laser, being able to cut any geometry, while also the efficiency of using the punch for forming tools. Huge advantage for us. Great for when you're trying to get a prototype to production. You don't necessarily have to invest in all the tools to make the part run as efficiently as possible the first run to prove your prototype. And then you can quickly go to production by purchasing some more tools to help optimize the cost and runtime of the part. Here we have our Inspect Vision flat pattern inspection machine. What this does, allows operators to come check their first part off the laser or the punch or the combo and have it checked immediately and have the machine back running, eliminating downtime and the need for an inspector to check the part. So this is a great machine, ensuring your quality part, your parts are made to print, and we have it right from the start of production. All right, we'll go back over this way. So after cutting, parts need to be deburred. Some parts can go without deburring, depending on the needs of the customer and depending on if it needs to be powder coated or not. But next will be deburring, also graining. So we have several machines here. You can also deburr by hand. No matter what, efficiency is what's going to drive our decisions. What is the most efficient process to accomplish the task? So whether it be by hand or like on this Nautilus machine here, it has a brush that knocks the burr over. Then it also has an edge rounding brush. And then the final pass is a Scotch-Brite wheel. So in just one pass, you can remove the burr and also give that nice grain finish. We also have a list mat. This is an edge rounding machine. The cool thing about this machine is it removes burr on both sides, breaks the sharp edge on both sides of the machine in just one pass. So at All Metals, we look for any time equipment can give us a competitive advantage, even in something as simple as deburring. That is something we activate on. So on our list mat, you're getting both parts, both sides of the part in one pass. And on the Nautilus, you're only having to put it through in one pass because you're both removing the edge, breaking the sharp edge, and putting a nice grain finish on it. At All Metals Fabricating, we also have a tube laser, which is unique because most shops are either tubular focused or sheet focused. We have a tube laser, which gives us a competitive advantage. It allows us to do racks more efficiently than putting them on the mill, and also allows us just to open up a lot of other opportunities for customers. So don't forget us in terms of your tube laser cutting needs. So after cutting and deburring comes bending. Now we've got a variety of ways to bend here at All Metals Fabricating. We have our panel bender behind me, which can bend up to 12-foot panels, fully automated loader, manual offload, great for long panel type work. Also can be run on smaller parts as well. The benefit here is removing the setup time. Once you do the program, the machine automatically sets itself up and moves the tooling in and out. It also bends about twice as fast, 2 to 4 times as fast as a traditional brake press. So in addition to that, we have 7 press brakes with a 14-footer and a 12-footer, giving us the ability to do very long parts. Also, those have more tonnage, so they can do thicker parts. And we also have the fastest robotic bending cell in the world, which allows us to have, once again, remove that setup time. Once you program it, it takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, versus a traditional brake press takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half to set up. And so real competitive advantage there. Also can run lights out around the clock unattended. So it allows us to have more throughput and have just great quality products. So here's our robotic bend cell, the fastest robotic bend cell in the world. This machine is incredible. Operates with incredible efficiency and accuracy. There's gauges inside the dies as well as a laser system to ensure that the bends are perfectly bent to the right angle. And why that matters is because in different lots of material, the thickness variation can vary. And so on a traditional brake, the operator would need to know that and adjust on the brake for it, whereas this system adjusts automatically for it. So the system, when it picks up a part, takes a picture of the part and makes sure that the part is orientated correctly to the program, and then it starts to bend it. And the bending is automatically calculating the exact bend and then setting it on the conveyor. Next we have the quality lab. So all first parts, first time builds are checked off the press brake in the quality lab. Now the quality is what really sets us apart at All Metals Fabricating. Over 1 million parts last year, over 99.7% of them were accepted in full. We also take the strictest criteria of quality in the industry. If we even get a customer complaint about one part, we count that as order rejected. And with even that strict of a criteria, we still maintain a 99% order acceptance rate. So even a complaint on one part of a 1,000-piece order counts as that whole order being rejected in the way that we measure it. And this is world-class quality. We have a world-class team and world-class equipment here. We have a Keyence IM, which is essentially an optical comparator, and it'll allow you to also have a probe to do some CMM type measurements as well on it, so you're not limited to just a flat part. We also have a CMM, so for more machine parts that require tighter tolerancing, the CMM's great. This will allow us to take complex measurements with very critical accuracy within the microns. Both the Keyence IM and the CMM are within several microns of precision in terms of accuracy. Further, we have a micro height gauge, we have a Faro arm for taking some bigger, longer measurements. You can also do 3D scanning with that. And of course, we have all the calipers and regular hand tools. Once again, efficiency drives all our decisions. So whatever is the most efficient, effective way to measure the part, that's what we're going to do for you. What's up, B? Good, bro. Here we have our weld shop. We can confidently say we have the best welders in the state of Texas. We recruit the top guys from every shop, and we have the best welders. Average experience of over 25 years. We got Homer, who's been here at All Metals for 50 years, celebrating his 50th year this year. We've got an incredible team here. Come check out what these guys can do. Here we're welding some roofs for some enclosures that go next to every wind turbine. They call them dog houses in the wind industry for some reason. But we make 10 of these every 4 days. So every time you drive by a turbine, look, there'll be a little house next to it. Looks a lot smaller than it really is because of how massive that turbine is. But check us out welding these roofs together. Here we are doing some weldments for a customer that we've actually had since we acquired the business. And these are for banks and pharmacies. So think about when you drive through the bank and you put the tube in the container and it sucks it up. That's what we're welding here. These go inside both at banks and at pharmacies. And so think of us for any of your banking, any of your pharmaceutical needs in terms of metal fabricated equipment. We've also got a robotic welder here. And so robotic welders are great. They're about 10 times as fast as a human, but they do need to be typically tack welded or fixtured really well together beforehand. Requires some programming additionally. So this machine makes more sense for high volume production, particularly when there's longer welds. It's more ideal for it. But this is a great machine, another way that we demonstrate to our customers that we're investing in equipment that allows us to run their parts most efficiently and effectively. So after welding, the welds need to be cleaned up, and that's what we call grind. Also, finishing department. So this, while at most shops is an entry-level position, our guys have 15, 20 years experience doing this. The reason why is cosmetic appearance matters. I always say you can build parts within 5 or 10 thousandths of an inch, but if they don't look good, nobody cares. So the appearance does matter. Now what separates All Metals from our competition is we have really good craftsmanship on high cosmetic stainless. So these guys are all experts at polishing the stainless steel to give it a nice, beautiful number 4 finish. So they're not just cleaning up welds, they're finishers. Big difference between somebody just grinding and a finisher. Next we have powder coating. So while a lot of shops have to outsource their powder coating, we have the benefit of having it in-house. Now we call it a separate business, All Powder Coat and Screen. They are the best powder coaters you will find in the area. This is very important because, as I mentioned, having a beautiful cosmetic finish is critical for our customers' parts. Here we have some parts for the medical industry. Specifically, these are hospital beds that rotate and put the victim facing downwards. This is critical for people with fluid in their lungs as it improves the survivability rate by 60%. And I'll have you know that the medical industry has the most stringent requirements for especially cosmetic finishes. So that's why you know you can trust us with your cosmetic finishes. Next we have hardware insertion. So these machines are presses that is pressing the hardware into the metal, and it essentially swages it to the metal. As you can see on this part, so we've installed studs, some PIM nuts, and while at most shops this is once again an entry-level position, we do not treat it as such. Our average experience is 20 years here. Reason being is this is where the most opportunities for failure are on a part, because you can miss a PIM nut, you can have a PIM nut fall out. So it's very critical in order for us to be able to maintain such a high order acceptance rate that our quality in our hardware insertion is on point. Next we have our machine shop. Now this is a different type of manufacturing. Sheet metal, you're taking sheets and cutting and bending them and welding them to make a part. In this department, you're taking blocks of material or bars of material to run them on a mill. You're using high-speed precision drills and tools to remove material to make a part. So different type of manufacturing. A lot of shops may be just a machine shop or just a sheet metal shop, but here at All Metals, we want to be a complete solutions provider for you. That's why we have our own machine shop, we have our own powder coat shop, so that we can be a one-stop shop for you. So in machining, the name of the game is reducing setup time and reducing load unload time. The runtime's the runtime for every shop. Now, you can't have a higher RPM machine that does allow you to run a little bit faster, move material faster, but the main way you get competitive advantage is by limiting setups and limiting load unload time, as well as accuracy. So once again, here at All Metals, we buy machines that will give us competitive advantages. Like you see here with this 5-axis machine, you can machine all surfaces except the bottom surface. As the part swings on a trundle, it can machine all surfaces in just one setup. You can flip the part and finish it in just 2 setups. Whereas on a traditional mill, you'd have to flip and fixture that part for every different surface that you wanted to machine. So here we have a horizontal mill. So the mill has 2 tombstones in it, and so you can be loading the tombstone while the machine is running, and then it'll switch the tombstones. So this machine is great for high volume production. The reason I say for high volume production is it does require more setup time. Because there's multiple tombstones, it does take longer to set up. So you wouldn't put a low run part on this, but for high run volume, removing that load unload time is huge and improves the price point that we're able to offer. Here we've got the Lamborghini of lathes. And as I mentioned, what the competitive advantage is removing that setup time. So on this machine, it's got a dual spindle. So this is a lathe, so bar stock feeds in from the side. They can do all the turning work on one side, grab the part, do the turning work on this side, and then it also has a 4th axis for machining. Now this machine has a motor built into the turret, which allows you to do some up to 10,000 RPMs of machining. So incredible offering in terms of what all the capabilities of this machine is. And to make it even better, the tolerancing on this machine is incredible. We've actually successfully built parts within plus or minus 4 microns. Now that's about 1/10 of the width of your hair. So the accuracy of this machine is superior, and you get the advantage of the cost effectiveness of removing the multiple setup times. Whereas on another part, you would have to flip it, so you're also adding load unload time, additional setup to do the turn work on the other side. And then if you had to put it on a mill, that's more setup time on another machine as well as more load unload time. So being able to do all surfaces in one pass allows you to be most efficient and most cost effective. Demonstrated by this beautiful part, which he's doing in one setup. So he's doing all the turn work on one side, then doing all the turn work on the other side, and then machining these poles and tapping them. Beautiful work, Anthony, beautiful work. So we also have 2 more lathes additionally. Now here, this lead well machine also has the ability to do 4th axis machining on it. Further, it also has a bar feeder on it, which allows you to run lights out production. Now here at All Metals, we are going to be the most automated job shop in the world by 2031. And we demonstrate that by investing in equipment that will allow us to run lights out in every department in the next few years. Behind me we have a V60, which is a mill with 30x60 travel. Now this allows us to do very large parts. And so a lot of machine shops don't want to invest in a machine this large because they're expensive, and quite frankly they're slower than the smaller mills. And so by having this, it really gives us a competitive advantage to be able to machine any part within a 30x60 envelope. So here we have a Kitamura 2XD. This is one of my favorite machines in the plant because it's so incredibly productive. Now remember what I was talking about, remove that load unload time. Well, this machine allows you, it has 2 pallets, and so it allows you to be loading 1 pallet while the machine is running. You could also be even working on the next setup while this pallet's loading and load and unload through here. So you could either remove setup time or you can remove load unload time. Now what I love about this machine is it doesn't require such a long setup time like you see on a horizontal. And so it gives you the benefit of high volume production with no downtime on the machine without having that big large setup time. It's an incredibly productive machine. Finally, we have final assembly where all the parts meet up. So you may have some machined parts, you may have some sheet metal parts, maybe some were powder coated, some were plated, and they all meet up here in final assembly. Now, a lot of places just use us for sheet metal and machined parts, not realizing or not utilizing our assembly capabilities. We actually have electromechanical assembly, and meaning that we have wire cutting, crimping equipment, all automated, so that we can do complex wirings to simple wirings, and we can provide you a complete product that is ready to be delivered to your customer and ready to be used, certified and tested. So All the parts meet up here at final assembly. We'll set up an assembly line. We have automated box taping equipment to help speed up the process, and we will assemble the parts in the most efficient way possible. Last but not least, we have shipping. So the parts are no good unless they make it to your location safely. So we treat shipping very seriously. We've got a box truck for all local deliveries. We can deliver to your facility on our box truck. We work with our customers' LTL providers to ship all over the country and world. But we make sure that your parts are packaged properly to get to you safely. Well, thank you for watching this tour of All Metals Fabricating. I hope you enjoyed it. You can go to our website, ametals.com, and submit a request for quote right on the website. We look forward to serving you with excellence.